Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Best of 5. My name is Ilan, and as always, we are joined, well, not as always, this time we're joined by the one, the only, the main squeeze, the Ace King offsuit jerk. How's it going, Steve?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say it's going.
Yeah, baby.
It's
Unfortunately,
been a while
Sharpie
since
couldn't.
I busted that one in.
Has it? I thought I heard it last week.
You know what? Maybe
It's okay.
Maybe you were just listening too hard. I don't know.
Could be. But unfortunately, Sharpie couldn't be here with us today, but she'll be back next week. But tonight on the show, Goldlewis Dickinson, whichever way you want to say it.
That's one.
What's one? How many times we're messing it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the over-under is 3.5.
Okay. Well, Goldlewis Dickinson is now out after being announced immediately after our stream yesterday or last week. So Arxis hates us. However, they released it before our stream, so we're going to have a breakdown live on the show. It's going to be lots of fun. I have lots of notes, and I have taken the diagram that is very helpful because that character is kind of nutty. Other things, though, we have CPT results. We have the finals of the Intel World Open to go through. We have new character announcements. We have a bunch of other stuff, including Evo announcements and other things. But however, before we get to all of that, Steve, I believe there's some things that we need to screw the lid on. You might say recap.
That was
good.
I don't know about that one. I might happen to disagree. But we do have a few events to go over. Last week we saw the conclusion of the Intel World Open. These were the Asian events that wound up things on Tuesday and Wednesday. If you got a chance to check this out, there was some pretty good action. A bit of an upset in the Southeast Asia region. Brandon beat Ciel in the winners final and then held him off in the grand final to take the top spot. So crazy. Brandon is your Southeast Asia champion. Ciel's taking home the silver. Chuan, the bronze medalist in Southeast Asia. Going over to East Asia, another bit of an upset. Remember, DCQ, Ding Chun Q, was just running over everybody in the CPT Chinese event, ran over everybody in the closed qualifier, got all the way to winners final, but Hot Dog ran it all the way back.
My boy.
So Hot Dog 29 is your East Asia champion. DCQ yeah. Second. Oil King held off fellow Taiwanese player Gamer B for third.
Damn.
And then we had, oh man, I'm kind of glad we didn't bet a pizza on it, although it would have been nuts because it was my pick versus Sharpie's pick.
Ooh.
Sharpie went with Tokido. I went with NL as kind of like the underdog, that dark horse. NL actually got to grand final on the winner's side.
How'd he do though, Steve? What's the result?
The result is Tokido gonna Tokido.
Oh.
Ran it back. One of the few players to actually run it back from the loser side in this competition. I think it was just him and I forget who won the NA West region, but whoever took it over Nephew.
Wow.
I believe those were the only two who came from losers finals to win. But Tokido, your winner, he takes home $8,000, the biggest prize of the competition since Japan and South Korea, the home region, got a little bit of an extra boost to their prize pool. NL, $5,500 for him, not a bad weekend's work. Pugera, your bronze medalist taking home $3,500. So, congratulations to all of those players.
Yeah, good to see Pugera back. Been a hot minute since I've seen their name.
Yeah, Pugera. Pugera actually did a lot of work. Obviously, making it to third, but there's just so many great players. So many great players that when you think like the depth is just so insane. Where Pugera might not make someone's top 20, and yet here he is getting all the way up to third in. It might not even make someone's top 20 in Japan.
Yeah.
But
even then, you talk about how Pugera was not even until someone's top 20, but I expected Fudo to be up in the grand finals. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Fudo, unfortunately, tying for 7 this time around, so maybe not. Still in the bridal party, but not quite the bridesmaid. That didn't make sense, but that's okay. Steve,
okay.
was there anything else we needed to recap?
Well, I mean, you look at Fudo's bracket. He lost to NL 3-2. So there's nothing to sneeze at. And then he lost to Gachikun. So
Wow.
that's not exactly a cakewalk of a path there.
Nope.
If we want to take things back to our side of the Pacific, we did have the first East Coast North America CPT qualifier this past weekend after a little bit of a break for the Intel World Open. Familiar name at the top, Punk. For the fourth time in 5 years, Punk is headed to Capcom Cup. Fourth straight year that we've actually had a Capcom Cup where he's qualified. Knocks off the defending champion Idom in the grand final, Mandrake, and Arturo Sanchez. This man has been on an absolute tear lately.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, he's been popping up a lot. Although, hold on a second. IDOM still makes it to 2021, right? Or did they undo that since 2020 was a bit of a mess?
I thought he was still in, but I'm not 100% sure. It's been a while since I've looked at the rule set for 2021.
Yeah. I guess we're going to have to check that out.
Yeah. But yeah, Arturo making Dalsum look good. Do we want to talk about what's going to happen this week, or do we want to just play Guilty Gear?
Oh, let's talk about what's going to happen this week. We'll leave Guilty Gear for the end.
Well, that was my segue into talking about Guilty Gear.
Oh, let's talk about talking about Guilty Gear.
I need to improve my seg game. So, if you did not watch the tournament, if you have not watched the CPT tournaments this season, one of the features of the event is after the conclusion of the tournament, they'll do a little bit of an interview with the winner and get their thoughts on, how they played, what they're planning on going forward. And Punk was asked about the things he plans to do to prepare for a talent-laden bracket like Street Fighter. How much Street Fighter is he going to play? His response turned some heads. He said, quote, "Nah, I'ma just play Guilty Gear. I mean, there's no reason for me to play this game anymore. I don't like the lag, so I'm not going to force myself to play. I love the game. The game is amazing, but the online is just not good. It tilts me to, well, I'm sure everyone sees my tweets all the time. Online tilts me to no end, so I'm just going to keep my mentality safe. I don't need to practice. I think I'm pretty good when I don't practice. I just need like 20 minutes on the game and I get everything back. So I'm going to just keep playing Guilty Gear. Hopefully I can enter the next CPT event also so then I can play from Florida and I can be the laggy person." End quote.
So he's going to Florida?
A little bit to unpack there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, look, it's burnout, right? Everybody's getting burnt out, especially when conditions aren't great online. this kind of thing happens. Now, the whole I think I'm pretty good when I don't practice thing, I mean, I guess we'll see.
I mean, obviously, this is something that has caught some attention obviously in the Street Fighter world, but outside the Street Fighter world, because this isn't just anybody saying this. This is one of the most popular Street Fighter players saying this on not just a Street Fighter stream, but Capcom's Street Fighter stream.
Oh,
How do you think this is any sort of black eye for Capcom, or is this something that we're all gonna kind of forget about in a week or so?
I mean, it depends. I mean, this is, I think, the first time.
Pardon me.
I think this is the first time that somebody has blatantly gotten the opportunity to say Street Fighter netcode is terrible when they know Capcom's listening. So it's one of those things where we've been having such a huge issue with the lack of communication between Capcom and players and, you know, just the consumers in general as far as the netcode goes. So I think this is the first time that it's gotten to, you know, kind of stick out, as it were. So I'm curious to see if Capcom has a response. My cynical side believes that they don't. They're just going to keep doing what they're doing for whatever reason. And that'll be that. But, I mean, look, they asked him what he was going to do, and he answered, you know?
You know, I kind of think back to, if you remember a couple years ago, the Fortnite tournament. That was the collegiate Fortnite tournament where a team won, and then in their post-match interview on stream, they basically said the game is garbage and they're retiring from the game to play literally anything else.
Yep.
Which
and
obviously
you're asking opinions.
You are asking opinions. The difference here is, you know, those players aren't playing Fortnite anymore.
No.
Punk is still going to be playing Street Fighter. And he, you know, since he's in Capcom Cup, he's going to be playing Street Fighter for large amounts of money.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's any sort of risk of pushback from Capcom, or, you know, not being invited to high-profile invitationals going forward? Is that something you think he has to worry about?
Well, I think as far as being invited to high-profile invitationals, absolutely, right? Because essentially he's I don't know if he's burning a bridge this can be taken a bunch of different ways. Of course, people will be more hesitant to invite him to invitationals, especially if they're online, all this other stuff. So, yeah, being invited to invitationals, absolutely. But as far as his ability to get into Capcom Cup, if Capcom does anything about it just because he shared his opinion, I think that's going to be a huge mistake on their part. Right? Because at the end of the day, they asked what his opinion was, he gave it, and that's that. It's not like he sat there trashing the game and saying, like, you know, like literally anything bad. It was a very constructive. It's considered constructive criticism. The online doesn't work great. I mean, it's not necessarily constructive in the sense that it's like the online sucks, but it's something that he believes is wrong with the game, and, you know, they gave him the platform to say.
And obviously, he's far from alone in that opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Far from alone.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's something that maybe might peek its head back into the conversation next year. Because, you know,
Go ahead.
I was just saying, there's a little bit of talk in Discord about, you know, is this the last year for Street Fighter V?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything in the immediate future, Street Fighter wise. So I think if we're going to get, I think we're going to have probably one more year of Street Fighter V being Capcom's major esports title.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, obviously there's going to be opportunities there in 2022, especially if things go well medically for everybody and we're able to have offline events at the scale that we did year and a half ago. Um, but then the question is, Street Fighter Six. You know, what if they don't get that online right?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, it's an answer we don't need to. We don't ever find out. We don't have to find out. But
Well, and that's the thing
that
is, like,
remains to
is
be
there
seen.
going to be a Street Fighter 6 in the first place? Nobody knows, right?
I mean, there was the leak from a while ago that said they're working on something that may be considered Street Fighter Six.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I would be shocked if they're at least not considering it. You know, it is still one of the most popular franchises in gaming. Um,
Yeah.
it's not a terrible idea to have something in the pipe. Are they necessarily going to have as big of a launch campaign behind it as they did with Street Fighter V when they had Sony helping finance it? I don't know, but I would expect something in the future from Capcom in terms of Street Fighter 6.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not, maybe not this year, but sooner rather than half a decade later.
Right. I mean, we'll see. The feedback on Guilty Gear has been pretty good as far as the rollback goes. You know, the fact that Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl has rollback has been a point of discussion. Still
No,
waiting on that aggro crag, man.
you are not touching my Helga Pataki. You are not touching my Helga Pataki. And if Asami's in the game, everyone is done. It's over. It's a wrap.
Yo, how can you say that with Powder Toast Man in the game? Jeez.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Nah.
You put Asami in the game, I am going to retire from the show. I'm going to retire from schedule making, and I'm going to throw everything I have into becoming the world's number one Asami Sato. I'm telling you right now.
You're gonna.
You can
It's gonna be
clip
like
that, put that on Twitter, put that on, if I end up not doing it, put that on Scrub Quotes.
Well, I mean, look, more power to you. And all I gotta say is be careful. You don't want to wind up like. I feel like there's a part of me that thinks this Nickelodeon game is gonna wind up like Brawlhalla.
I think that's pretty lofty, to be honest. I think it's going to end up like PlayStation All Stars, closer to that.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. What did we do? Was there a release date for that game or no?
October.
October. Okay. Well, we'll find out come October. Especially because it has rollback. You know?
Or excuse me, fall 2021.
Fall 2021. That's probably October.
So maybe October would be a good guess, but
yeah.
we will see.
Now, Steve, in the recap, we went over the Intel World Open stuff because that's at the Olympics. And I don't know if you guys saw, but on Thursday, the Olympics had their opening ceremonies, which was very, very interesting and very... If you watched NBC coverage, you didn't get to see anything because NBC sucks. So, sorry. Guess if you're stuck with NBC, you're SOL. But if you got to see it how it was meant to be seen, you saw... Well, better yet, you heard some very familiar things that were showcased during the opening ceremony. Right, Steve?
You did. You might have, as the March of Nations took place, when athletes from all over the world carry their flag into the stadium, and there's triumphant music playing in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And some of this music, for people of our age, people of our interest level, sounded a bit familiar. And it turns out that there was a whole lot of video game music being used in the background of the March of Nations, including a song from SoulCalibur.
Mm-hmm.
But you also had stuff from Final Fantasy. You had the victory song from Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually the first thing I heard. It was like da 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 da.
Well,
Wait a
DMCA,
second.
DMCA, Steve, relax.
Audio Jungle.
Audio Jungle.
We're good.
Yeah, but no, dude, this is a really, really good list of music, and especially because Japan tends to embrace their history in video games and the video game industry. It's super cool that they showcased a bunch of this. I specifically really like the Monster Hunter music in there. I thought that was really cool. The Sonic the Hedgehog. Was it Sonic the Hedgehog music? I don't think I heard it. I need to go back and listen to it again.
It was definitely in there. It wasn't. I forget which stage it was, but obviously these were just orchestral rearrangements of these songs, so it's not necessarily the chiptune versions. But yeah, if you saw any of the ceremony, the sign that they carried in with the name of each country was kind of done in the style of a manga panel.
Mm-hmm.
So they sort of, they embraced a lot of aspects of Japanese culture, a lot of different aspects during various parts of the opening ceremony, and then the March of Nations was basically otaku time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, Big 4 Lil read my brain. Imagine if they did City Escape. That'd be sick.
Rolling around at
the speed of... Yeah. France is walking in there. That'd be sick. Best Olympics ever.
Oh, I would love it, honestly, if they did it like CEO style.
Oh, yeah.
Wrestling entrance style, where each nation got to pick its own song.
That would be interesting. It'd be a hell of a logistic nightmare. It'd be interesting.
It would be, but I would love to see the American athletes come out to North Carolina USA remix by P.D. Pablo. Do you remember that?
Nope.
You don't remember? This one's from North Carolina. Come on and raise up.
Audio Jungle.
Audio Jungle. You don't remember that song?
No, I don't think I've actually ever heard it.
You've heard that song.
Nope.
You have heard that song.
Steve, look.
Yes.
I have a music degree. I live under a rock as far as music is concerned.
This song was literally everywhere because you had the original mix, which was all about North Carolina, and then the all cities mix. So every city could be like, hey, he said my city. I like this song now. And then 9/11 happened. So they changed it to USA, come on and raise up. Which, you show your love for your country however you want. But
I don't think I actually ever heard this.
I'll send you the YouTube links after the show.
Please do.
It's you have to hear it. I'm sorry.
Damn. Could you imagine Mexico comes out to El Sonidito? Beep, 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 beep. Un, dos, tres, cuatro. Dude, that'd be sick. That'd be a party. All right. Enough about the Olympics.
I think I'm showing my age. I was thinking they might come out to Macaron Chacaron.
That would be sick. That would be good.
Okay, that's enough of that.
All right, enough Olympics, Steve. We're a fighting game podcast, allegedly.
Allegedly. Thank you for giving us some leeway there.
Yes, always leeway. So with sorry, I'm trying to. I think I did the thing wrong, and I can't find the thing. There we go, found it.
Yay.
With this past week, we also got a couple of really cool announcements. Did we not?
We did.
All right. Well, we're gonna watch them, but we're gonna start from the best announcement, like the one that has the most impact, and then we're gonna go from there.
Okay.
Ready?
I think I'm ready. I'm prepared.
Okay, here it is. He's back.
This is the correct winner.
The King of Dinosaurs is back.
King.
You don't see King with his cheetah mask doing anything like this.
I also don't see him creating volcanoes.
Nope.
No,
Nope.
that's the beauty of KOF. You know, Tekken, there's always that lore about throwing people into volcanoes, but you
Hmm.
got to use a volcano. You got to be close to a volcano to do that. You know,
Yep.
if you're King of Fighters, just call King of Dinosaurs.
Hmm.
Like, okay, hey, there's this dude. I need to show him a lesson. I need him to grow up and become a man. So I need to throw him in a volcano. I need you to just come here for like, it'll just take a minute, and then we're good.
Hmm.
You have that versatility with KOF that you
Yeah,
just don't get with Tekken.
that's okay. You know, that's okay because have you ever thrown an ice cube in a volcano?
I have never been close enough to a volcano to throw an ice cube in it.
Me neither, but I would only assume that it does this. Melty Blood. Whoa, she looks like the guy from Under Night Birth, the spider person. You know who I'm talking about? Please tell me somebody know who I'm talking about.
Let's just pretend that we don't know what he's talking about. Um, you know what? I feel like I need more Melty. That wasn't enough Melty for me.
Well, Steve, I was talking about the spider person. You know what spiders do? They make webs in the sky. And if you say sky in Spanish, it's Ciel.
That was a hell of a seg.
I don't even know if that's correct, by the way. Is that a bazooka? Wow, they're dead. They're actually dead. She just shot him out of a bazooka. That was crazy.
I do not like that of the 4 characters they've shown so far, 3 of them have like all black or all dark blue outfits.
You mean maid outfits, Steve?
No, like even if you pull up the first 2, it's like all black school outfit for boy, all black maid outfit there. It's like there's a lot of that's just a very very personal Steve thing. Like just throw them in red. Throw them in yellow, just something. Let's get us a little splash of color here.
Steve, can I give my color suggestion?
What would your color suggestion be?
Gold.
Subject file
That was good.
2534.
I gotta
Speech level
stop setting you up
intelligence
for this.
confirmed. Preparing to capture.
Dude, this is actually like so. Goldlewis kind of became a very beloved character in the story of Guilty Gear. So it's so cool that he's the first DLC. And this was, of course, that was the trailer that happened literally minutes after we logged off.
Can we talk about this for a second? Because like
I've been saying it for a while.
we always say please do stuff on Tuesdays. Please, that makes our job easier. And then 3 companies did stuff on Tuesday last week, but it was all after our show.
Yep.
Because the KOF trailer dropped after we went off the air. The Strive trailer dropped after we went off the air. Bandai Namco announced something after we went off the air. It's like they're just doing it to taunt us.
Yep.
It's like, you want the news story? You can't have it. You can't have it. You want the news story? You can't have it.
You know who's always done right by us? NetherRealm. But they haven't announced anything in a while. I guess they're working hard at the new thing.
Well, something got announced by NetherRealm, kind of.
Oh?
They are one of the Mortal Kombat is one of the highest selling titles series of all time.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. So, and to add to that, I don't know if you follow Ed Boon on Twitter. He was mentioning that Mortal Kombat 11 is either on track or has passed sales numbers for Mortal Kombat 10.
He said not quite yet, but eventually.
Yeah, so it's pretty close. Pretty close.
So it was revealed over the past few days that MK11 has crossed the 12 12 million units
12
sold.
minute mark.
The 12-minute mark. It's a very short game.
Yep.
12 million units sold
That's a lot.
worldwide for MK11. That is a lot. That brings the entire total for all MK games up to 73 million, which makes it the best-selling fighting game franchise of all time. Just only recently, within the last year or two, passing the Smash Brothers series.
Crazy. That just goes to show you, man, the power of Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
Power of single player, honestly.
And single player. Yeah, that's very true. That is very true. And if you guys don't know, because everybody here, I guess, is in the competitive side of the FGC, and not necessarily on the casual side, like all of the single player content for most Mortal Kombat games has been nothing short of unbelievably amazing. So
yeah, there is all that talk about arcade mode. How important is arcade mode? Well, that's okay. They've got a story mode in Street Fighter V. Even though it was so easy, a baby could beat it. And I'm not saying that as a figure of speech. There is a video that I was able to link in an article I wrote about it that showed a 6-month-old baby beating story mode with Birdie. I'm not gonna say what that says about Birdie players. I'm just pointing facts out. That video exists.
Mena, I didn't say anything. Mena Ardia did not say nothing.
Nor did I. that the baby picked Birdie. I'm not saying anything about you picking Birdie. I'm just saying that's what the baby did. That's where the baby found success.
That is where the baby found success. That's a hell of a set. All right. Well, moving on. Steve, we got some details about Evo last week. And it was about the schedule, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, we got a little bit of news. Not an exact time slot yet, but Evo did announce in the Discord for players the schedule for events for the 2 weekends of Evo. The Evo, of course, taking place over 2 weekends, August 6th through 8th and August 13th through 15th. There is going to be a different schedule for each region. So, like, each day you're going to have Street Fighter, and you'll have some Street Fighter, you'll have some Tekken, you'll have some Mortal Kombat, but it won't necessarily be every region at once. So, just to go over the North American schedule, weekend 1 will be Tekken on Friday and Saturday, with Street Fighter V and Skullgirls both on Saturday and Sunday of week 1.
Wow.
Week 2 is going to be Mortal Kombat 11 Friday, Saturday, and Guilty Gear Saturday, Sunday. Do we have any Europeans or Asians or Latin American viewers in chat right now?
I would assume yes. Maybe.
If you are of the European persuasion, Street Fighter V and Mortal Kombat will be weekend 1, Friday, Saturday, Guilty Gear Saturday, Sunday. And then weekend 2 will be Skullgirls Friday, Saturday, and Tekken Saturday, Sunday. Latin America, you got Guilty Gear Friday, Saturday on weekend 1, Mortal Kombat 11 Saturday, Sunday. And then weekend 2, we'll see Tekken and Street Fighter Friday, Saturday, Skullgirls Saturday, Sunday. Skullgirls getting the main event slot, getting the final Sunday all on its own in Latin America. And then Asia, no Mortal Kombat in the Asia region. So Skullgirls will be Friday, Saturday on week 1, Tekken 7 Saturday, Sunday. And then week 2 will be Guilty Gear Friday, Saturday, and Street Fighter Saturday, Sunday. Remember, the top 2 players from each region in each game will qualify for that Evo showcase in November in Las Vegas with 125K on the line. So
It's a lot of
a
money.
lot, a good chunk of moolah to be had out there if you are successful over the course of those weekends. So, as I said, specific start times have not been announced as of yet, but that is if you're looking to enter a game or if you have registered for a game, those are the days you have to look forward to.
Yep. It'll be I'm excited to see it, man. Mostly because I just want to see who gets to the top, who takes home the cash, who gets to the pinnacle, if you will. And speaking of pinnacles, Steve, I think there was some announcement regarding some sort of pinnacles or pinnacle, if you will.
Actually, a little bit of news
Oh,
that I just came across.
oh,
Evo has published the list of players, or excuse me, the list of events. Not the list of events, but the number of players in each event.
oh! Is it on Twitter?
It is on, let me link it. It's directly from Evo's Smash GG page. I will put a link to it in chat. I can tell you right now.
Do it in the VMix chat.
I'll do it in the VMix chat as well. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Bada bang.
There we are.
So we can pull that up on stream.
Yep. But keep going. What were you about to say?
So, the players per region, there's a good amount of variance. Looking at North America.
Here we are. We got it.
Yep. Skullgirls has 300 players, 317. NA East for Street Fighter has 410. NA West for Street Fighter 367. MK11 is 406 for North America. Guilty Gear Strive 2,262.
Interesting.
Over 2,200 players for Guilty Gear. More than pretty much every other North America game combined.
Wow. That's
pretty
a number.
big. That's a big number.
I was trying to look for it here, but I don't think I can find it. Oh no, wait, there it is.
Yeah,
Dang.
there's
That's a lot of numbers.
There's a couple that are kind of surprising to me, especially in Europe. MK11 has less than 100 players for Europe.
Interesting.
Europe East for Street Fighter V has 50.
Wow. 50? Like 50?
50.
Interesting. Do you think that this is because it's Evo? And there's been some turbulence as far as the name of Evo goes in the past 2 years?
I don't know how much of that necessarily plays here. Obviously, it does impact how some people view Evo, but not necessarily. I think with the transition, taking a year off, and then the new ownership under Sony and RTS is that the name of the company?
I think so. Yeah, something like that. Or Endeavor.
Yes, thank you. But between those two, I think enough distance has passed where I don't think it's as big of an issue for a huge number of people. I think it's just a matter of it doesn't really feel like Evo. You've had so many chances to compete online, And take nothing away from the organizational job that Evo has done in its first year under challenging circumstances. But it definitely doesn't necessarily feel, to me at least, like it's significantly different than any other online tournament. Say what you will about the Evo tournament experience as a player, as an attendee, it feels a lot different than what you would run into with your local or
Oh
your
yeah.
your regional. I don't think that differentiation comes through in an online environment this year.
Especially too because, and this isn't like this is just kind of a nature of the beast when it comes to online play, but especially because you're divided into regions, right? You're going to be playing most of the same people you already play. So I think that definitely takes away from the Evo experience for sure.
I mean, there's that certainly, but there's also the fact that you get a lot more players who have the opportunity to compete that wouldn't necessarily get to anymore, because the biggest barrier of entry for Evo is literally getting to Las Vegas, especially if you're someone who lives outside the U.S. or lives even outside the Western U.S.
Yep.
This takes that away. So you would expect, even though you lose some players who might not view it in the same light as they would in other years, you would gain players who have the opportunity that didn't have the opportunity before.
Yeah, that's
so
for sure.
I don't know. I thought that there would be a lot bigger entry levels in some of these events.
Yeah, for sure. I don't disagree. But then again, you have games like Guilty Gear that are just that's what everybody wants to play. Yeah, that's what everybody wants to play. So is it an issue of the state of Street Fighter V? Is it an issue on the state of Evo, fighting games online, etc., etc.? We'll never know. But I'm pretty sure it's a little column A, B, and C, and D, E, N, F, G.
Yeah,
right?
It's I would imagine so. It's not like I said, it's something that we're going to be talking about for quite some time.
For sure. Now, Steve, those are all the topics that we had planned for today, with the exception of one. And that
Two,
is
actually.
Two. Oh, yeah, I set up the Pinnacle one, and you were looking at Smash GG. Boom. Threw him under the bus. Got him.
My fault.
So Pinnacle 2021 got announced. What's up with that?
So Pinnacle has become one of the biggest Canadian events of the year, especially after Canada Cup's rough couple of years. This just got announced as an offline event that will take place, at the Vancouver Convention Center in Vancouver, British Columbia. So, if you are on the Pacific West or on the Pacific Coast, you might be able to check this out. $30,000 prize pool announced. Almost half of it going to Smash Brothers. It is a huge event in the Smash community, but the traditional FGC certainly not being left out. $4,000 prize pool for Street Fighter V and Guilty Gear Strive. Tekken 7 and Melty Blood getting $2,500 prize pools each.
Wow, that's hefty.
That is quite hefty. $750 for Uniclear, Grand Blue, and Central Fiction. Central Fiction getting some love, as well as DBFC. And $500 for SoulCalibur 6 and Marvel 3.
Wow.
You want to win some money playing some Marvel 3? This might be your opportunity. Although Justin Wong is confirmed to be attending this one. So,
well, yeah, I forgot he lives up in Canada now.
You might not be able to get all that 500. It's going to be tough, but the opportunity is there for you.
Well, that's great. So big ups to Pinnacle, and also getting the Vancouver Event Center. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. It's a big place. So it's gonna be tons of fun. Now, I think it's time. Steve, would you like to learn a little bit about Goldlewis Dickinson?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Because
more breaking news.
It's not break. Well, it broke after our show last week.
Oh.
If you remember, I said that there were 3 bits of news
Okay.
that happened. We had the Goldlewis reveal.
Mm-hmm.
We had the King of Dinosaurs trailer drop.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually had Bandai Namco announce a tournament series.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, this kind of snuck in for a lot of people. But one of the games we just talked about at Pinnacle, SoulCalibur 6, it's going to get another tournament series, and it's going to be the SoulCalibur Online Challenge.
Interesting.
If you are familiar with the Tekken Online Challenge and you think, well, that sounds kind of similar, there's a reason for that. It is very similar. Pretty much same format, broken up into 5 regions. And you will have a mix of, so far, offline or online events. Well, it's called the Online Challenge, so it will all be online events. But you have 5 regions, like I said: North America East, North America West, Japan, Southeast Asia, and Europe West. And those are going to start on the... they actually started last week on the 20th, and they go to the 27th, excuse me, of December.
Interesting.
So I can tell you right now, the next event in North America, at least, is the August monthly. The Rocky Mountain August Monthly. That's based out of Denver.
Okay, I'm glad you specified, because I always, for some odd reason, since I graduated school, I no longer know geography, so I couldn't remember whether Rockies was in the west or if the Appalachians was over here. But the Appalachians is in the east. Now that I know where the Rockies are,
I can tell you one bit of geography from South America.
Sure, go for it.
Do not call Chile a thin strip of land in South America.
Nope.
Because some people got very heated over that on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
But that's for another day.
Sure.
That's for another day.
It is for another day. We'll dig into the ramifications of calling it a thin strip of land in South America some other time.
There's something else we need to dig into tonight.
Yes. Steve, is it time? Can we do it?
I believe it's time. I believe we should do it.
All right. So Goldlewis got him. Goldlewis came out, and I've been playing him all day. So we're going to do a little bit of a Goldlewis breakdown. Check this guy out. So we have here a little bit of training mode. I'm going to turn up the music. Got to break down the music first. All right. So Steve, I don't know if you saw the reveal trailer, or not the reveal trailer, but the game breakdown for Goldlewis, but he's a little bit of a complicated character. He's not your regular old character.
I saw something where I have not dove into this character at all, but I did see an image where he has a move where it's like half circle, but you can use any half circle, and like any one of 8 different moves comes out. Can you please explain this to me?
Sure. So his coffin is the big gimmick of... So every Guilty Gear character has a giant gimmick. His is the giant coffin that says Area 51. Of course, I'm rocking the orange and blue with the white tie, because why else not? And we actually have that diagram right here, because it's a half circle in any direction, and each direction has its own function, right? So here
Can I just say, the orange and blue makes him look a lot like a large Seth Killian. I just want to put that out there.
All right, my apologies to Seth Killian. I'm kidding. Anyway, here's the diagram. This is straight from the video. This is a Behemoth Typhoon is the name of the move with the coffin. And you have all sorts of different directions that you can do a half circle in the stick, and each direction does something different. So for example, half circle back, the normal half circle back is a fast startup regular move. A half circle going up is a long range lift. A vertical half circle back going forward is a fast startup overhead, while a vertical half circle backwards is a low, right? You're seeing all this. So we're going to go over each one of these and the ramifications of what they mean. I have notes. Where are my notes? There they are. So, of course, the meme, if you haven't seen the breakdown video, is they go through each one of these, and the script is just, in this Behemoth Typhoon, and then they say that about 800 times. It's great. But let's start from the basics. First, this is Goldlewis. He moves. He's a big boy. He's a big boy. Now, usually in Guilty Gear, with very few exceptions, big boys don't usually get a lot of movement options, right? Mostly because they're big. Their buttons are gigantic. They have a lot of health. However, look at this. He's got an air dash. Not a lot of big boys get air dashes. He doesn't have a double jump. He only has one jump, but he's got an air dash. And that's dangerous. That's dangerous for this kind of character. So, we'll get into how all that goes into effect a little bit later. Let's start with some buttons. He's got a lot of crazy, ridiculous buttons. My favorite buttons include crouching slash, which is this. It hits this far. It's almost the full screen. And of course, he uses the coffin. What were you saying, Steve?
Holy cow.
Holy cow, indeed. Now, you think that reaches far. Check out his forward hard slash, heavy slash. It reaches almost the full screen. And it moves him forward a heck of a lot. Next is his 6P. His 6P is the regular anti-air. It doesn't hit crouchers, but it's one of the, like the alien hand just comes up and smacks him out of the air. It's pretty great. Now, let's get into these Behemoth Typhoons. First, the regular half circle back. It looks like this. It reaches pretty far. The crazy thing about this is more of a good hit confirm. Like if you get like a solid like crouching slash, you can hit confirm it into that. If you get your forward heavy slash, you can hit confirm it into that. Except I screwed it up, so let's do one more time. Right? Some of them you can confirm into combos. Some of them you cannot. Next, the half circle upwards. So hard to do. It's just the regular lift. You can't combo off of it, but what does it do? If you can't combo off of it, what's the point of this? Steve, this guy has Oki. He's got set play, and it's terrifying.
Oh, of course, he's a Guilty Gear character.
He can throw out this mine. Right? We saw it in the trailer. He throws out this mine. And it can give you some good Oki. He's got that super that's just the giant light that comes from the heavens. Right? So this is his Oki tool. Oops, sorry, I did the wrong one. Right? You can literally do any Oki situation here. You have to be careful because it doesn't quite line up. Ah, come on. See? So you can get some really good Oki and really make your opponents dislike the character you're playing because of that Oki.
Now with the bomb, is it possible to get that out fast enough so it hits behind?
Yeah. That's called using meter. You can use your meter in this game to what they call fast RC, where you can just cancel the startup of something. We'll get to that move later, but You can cancel the startup of it by spending a little bit of meter. So, you can do some fast RCs to set this up. Right?
Oh, okay.
It can get nutty. It can get nutty. So, those are just the regular half circle backs, both down and up. Vertical up half circle back. That looks like this. What's the point of this move, you might ask? It's a side switch. Got yourself in the corner? No, you don't. Come on. It is a little bit tricky. I don't quite have the execution down just yet. But this does a lot of crazy side switching stuff. And you can combo off of it too. You can get some good stuff afterwards. Can you do this? Oh yeah, look at that. You can even get two in one combo. Look at that. Crazy. Crazy. So, you got a side switch utility. You have yourself a low, which is half circle vertical back going down, which you can combo off of. Damn, it's so hard to do. I'm not a grappler.
That's why Sharpie doesn't hate you.
True. But keep in mind, these are not combos, right? These are all mix-ups. So you can get your overheads, you can get your lows, all from this move, the Behemoth Typhoon. In this Behemoth Typhoon, you can cause that to bounce if you get him with the low. So if you got him scared of blocking high, or if you got him scared of crouching, hit him with the low, you're going to bounce him. Get yourself a big combo, get some wall breaks. It's going to be pretty great. Next, since we just saw the low, let's take a look at some of his overheads. So the opposite move. So this is half circle forward vertical going forward, right? So it's this motion. Let's look at the opposite motion. There you go. That's a giant launcher. And you can get yourself a full combo off of that big boy. However, if you're doing it in the middle of the screen, it's going to be a little bit harder. You're not going to get as much. However, something worthy of note, every time you hit somebody with this coffin, I almost said the F word. Every time you hit somebody with this coffin, it's a hard knockdown. Every single time. So you can set out a mine, you can set up the super, you can do whatever you want here. The Oki is yours. Right? But if you're in the corner, you can use this as a launcher. Here we go. Get yourself a big old wall break combo. And look at that damage, Steve.
That's a big chunk of red that just appeared and then disappeared.
It is. It is. That's a large chunk of red. That's the crazy thing with this character is he doesn't have a lot of crazy combos like this. He doesn't have a lot of confirms. But when you get him with some stuff, it does a lot of damage. So here you have a fast overhead. There we go. A fast overhead. It does combo. And you do get a wall bounce. Right? You get or not a wall bounce, you get a regular bounce. So you can get yourself mid-screen, you don't get too much. You might be able to get like the big coffin. There you go, as an OTG. So it doesn't, it's very situational, right? However, if you are in the corner, sorry.
Oh.
Come on. If you are in the corner, you do get yourself a little bit of damage. Sorry about that. I'm still, like I said, I'm still learning. So everybody relax. But yeah, so you have yourself a low. You have yourself an overhead. What else do you have, Steve? You know the answer?
Mids.
You do have mids. And you have them as combo tools. Because this guy has some wacky combo shenanigans to his game. So he has this move here. It's his crouching hard slash or heavy slash. It's an amazing move. Have you ever seen a man do this?
Not without a pratfall laugh track behind it.
Exactly. But it might behoove you to know, Steve, that little button right there, if you can confirm a close slash, which is this right here, the shoulder charge, if you can confirm this into this, you can get yourself some crazy combos like this. And depending on where you are on the screen, whoops, sorry, I did the wrong one. Depending on where you are on the screen, you can get a lot for just a little bit. It is tough. There is no Gatling with this character as far as I know. And it is tough to get some of the timing right as far as when the half circles happen. But you can get some crazy stuff. As soon as I remember how to do it, because I was doing it right before the show, I'm going to do this. There we go. And you get yourself a wall bounce at the end. So depending on your situation, you can get a wall break. You can even start spending some meter on supers. You can get yourself a wall bounce. It's crazy. So the way this works is this is the half circle forward. So the half circle forward is your wall bounce tool. That's the half circle forward. It doesn't combo from a regular slash. So you have to prop them up into the air in order to get this. So this if you get your opponent hesitant on pressing buttons, this can be used to frame trap. However, if they're mashing, they can hit you out of it. The startup is just a little bit too long. So half circle down, going forward, wall bounce. Half circle going up is the overhead. That's a wall bounce or a ground bounce that you then can.
Okay.
Yeah, you then can combo into whatever you want, depending on the spacing. The combo I found, the one I was trying to do a little bit earlier, it only works if you're running at them. There you go. So you can do yourself a little loopity-loop of one or two of those. Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. There is a lot of like very specific timing. Because if you get far slash, the combo's over. You have to get that close slash again. See? It is a little bit tricky. There we go. And then you can just shoot him towards the end. Or you can literally do anything to wall break there. Now, those are the complicated moves. That's this. So if you want to go over to the YouTube, to the what do you call it? The player guide for Goldlewis Dickinson. You can look at this, and this will give you a very, very good representation of what everything is. I think this is a very good diagram, and it's helped out a lot. Finally, he has two regular special moves, which are all caused by, or are all. Wait, that's not what I want. I wanted. Where is display setting? Virtual controller, do not display.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna throw a link to that player guide in the chat.
Do it. So, right above his meter, right above my head here, you see the star and the 1, 2, 3. That's called the security level. Kid you not, that's a security level. This, it's very simple. It just goes up over time. And when you use one of the special attacks that uses the security level, it goes away. So for example, the two moves that use security level, well, sorry, there's 3 moves, is the mine, the Gatling gun, and one of his supers. Those are the 3 moves that use security level. And it just goes up over time. You don't have to worry about it going up. You do have to worry about what it's at. So, let's start with the mine. The mine. The bane of everybody. So, the mine is just a little mine. And the higher the security level is, the faster it travels. And the more hits it does. So this is security level number 1. If we let it go up a little bit into security level number 2, it travels a little bit farther. And if we let it go up to security level number 3, as soon as it gets there, there it is.
Bam.
It travels full screen. Right? So you can't... this is, I think, such an interesting tool because you can't just use it all willy-nilly. You have to be careful. Because, like, once we saw, like we showed, when you don't have the security level, it doesn't really go anywhere. And the startup of this is so long that it almost isn't worth it to not get anything out of this. So, it is a great Oki tool. You can use it to get yourself some set play. It's amazing. But you gotta be careful with it because you can't just be throwing it out all willy-nilly. Next, let's look at the Gatling gun. The Skyfish, it's called. That's 30 hits from full screen. And it goes through any other projectile. Kai can throw his super, and that'll go through his super because it's throwing out so many projectiles. This only works, or you only get the 30 hits of it when you're in level 3. When you're in level 1, you get 10. It's very short. When you are in level 2, you get yourself probably 20. Yep. Good bet. And when you're in level 3, you get the 30. This is, I think, one of the most interesting tools this character has because, let me go ahead and set the opponent to block everything. Block setting, all guard. Now, Steve, look at his health. You seeing his health? Look at that nice full health bar that Kai has over here.
It is looking very full.
Look at the chunk of chip this thing does. Even the smaller one, it does a very good chunk. That's basically like a hit, if you will. So if you have it all leveled up to level 3, you get yourself all the way down to the S in Kisk over there in the health bar. So this is one of those things that people are going to be so salty about because the only way to avoid getting chip kills on this game is to faultless defense, but that wastes your meter. So you don't want to be using this too much. But if Lewis is full screen, old Goldlewis Dickinson over here, if he's full screen, you bet your ass he's going to be doing this. However, the danger is most characters can get full screen via the air very easily, and that is a big weakness. So you can just air dash straight out of it, and you're screwed. So you do have to be careful with how you use it.
Now, is he able to do any moves that use just part of the meter?
Oh, you mean the security level?
Yeah, the security level. Or is it
all
like
of his
whatever
moves,
he's got?
Yeah, whatever he's got, he's spending it all. He's a big spender, right? So mine, level 3, it's gone. That means if you use the gun, it's at level 1. And it's all or nothing with this guy.
And there isn't anything that you can do to gain meter aside from just wait.
Yep, you just gotta wait.
Okay.
You just wait. But yeah, in a nutshell, that's Goldlewis Dickinson. I played a lot of his. I played a lot during the day, and he's super duper fun. You can even get yourself some crazy combos off of using meter. His supers look really cool. There's a super that the official command is a half circle back forward P. But if you churn the butter, you get more damage. So for example, here is the super. This is no butter churn, 179 damage, 2 hits. Right?
Okay.
Let's churn some butter. This is a full 360. I think I screwed that up. Let's try that one more time. Okay, this is a 720. 197. Can we do a 3-er? I think I screwed it up. I might have done only 2. Let's do one more. Let's see. That's a 3-fer. 201. So if you churn butter, if you churn your butter, And this is invincible on get up too, by the way. So if you're knocked down, you bet your ass, a bunch of players are just going to be churning that butter. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that. Wow. There it is. We got the three. That's 215. So,
Okay.
you bet your ass if you get knocked down, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be churning that butter. Because that's invincible on get up. So, it's dangerous.
So here's my question.
Go for it.
Do you have any sort of setup? Because I'm thinking about offline play. If you jump, do the 720 to kind of bait your opponent into thinking that's what you're going for. Is there any way, is there another layer on that you can throw on?
Oh, I'm sure. Especially because if your opponent is thinking you're going to get up or you're going to wake up with that super, remember, this is a low. His standing K is also a low. So you can just get up, do one of these, and all of a sudden the match is yours. Because then you're going to start having some fun. Right?
Okay.
So you can fake some of this out. And it's dangerous because if you fake it out, it's crazy. I haven't found much use of his meter aside from fast RC, among other things, because every time he uses his Behemoth Typhoon, the coffin, the burst that you get from RCing, from Roman canceling, is too far away. So ultimately, I think it just gives you a little bit better Oki. Speaking of Oki, the last thing we're going to go over is his final super, which I think is my favorite, and it's going to be the bane of a lot of people's existence. And I'm going to start by sweeping this man and canceling into it.
Oh, dear God.
So, this is going to be dangerous. This is going to be very dangerous, especially because it starts from wherever they're at and it moves towards you. This is the super that is also affected by the security level. So, higher security level, more hits, further ground coverage. So, what we did earlier, I think, was level 2. This is a level 3. And all of a sudden, they're in your face again. And this is completely safe to use on block, because if they're blocking, you're able to move, you're able to do whatever you want. So, you can legit just run up, hit them once or twice, then combo out of it. It's crazy. This is going to piss a lot of people off, and it's going to be amazing, and I cannot wait. Here's a mine.
So, is he your favorite character so far?
He's so much fun, man. Aside from my main, so I main Giovanna in this game. But aside from Giovanna, I've been having so much fun with this character. It's been crazy. The half circle mechanic is super unique. Ultimately, you can literally just do 360s and then just end wherever, and it registers that way. Like, for example, I can just do a 360 and end it up, and we get the launcher. Or I can do it landing down, and we get the low. Right? So the buffer handles it that way. And it's once you figure out how to use each swing as a different tool, and once you're able to utilize all those tools depending on which situation you're in, this character is going to be really good. He does get rushed down really hard, so it's going to be a little bit tough, especially fighting characters like Mei, because Mei gets a lot of reach with that stupid anchor, and hers comes out so much, and her anchor buttons come out so much faster than his. It's a little bit tough. He has a lot of trouble with Eddie. He has a lot of trouble with Axel. So it's going to be a cool balance to see what people do with this character. But I think design-wise, he's super fun and he's super unique. So big ups to Arxis for giving us Gold Lewison. There you go. Just wanted to reach the over-under. Right on the money. Oh wait, was it 3.5?
It was 3.5.
Gold Dick. There we go. 3.5 on the dot. With all that said, we're about 4 minutes from the end, but I think we've run out of topics and we've run out of things to do, Steve. Is there anything else we need to do before we say goodbye?
I need to sleep. I've been up since 4 a.m.
Same.
Real life is stinky sometimes.
Yeah.
But we are less than we're a week and a half away from Evo.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be a ton of fun. Can't wait to see all the crazy stuff. And for those of you that don't know, I've been streaming Guilty Gear. I'm over at twitch.tv/ultraloop. Sorry to self-promote there, Steve, but I've been having a lot of fun streaming.
You monster.
I know. So I was playing Goldlewis this morning, and it was a lot of fun. You got to see me get very frustrated and very happy all at the same time. With all that said, ladies and gents, this has been another episode of Best of 5. Steve, we did it. We made it to the end.
I was worried for a bit. I wasn't sure I was going to get there, get to the finish line, but we made it. We showed that Olympic spirit. Mm-hmm. We reached for the gold. We came up with bronze, but you know what? That's okay. That's still on the podium.
It's okay. Podium is very respectable. Unless you're Red Bull, because then you think Lewis Hamilton crashed into Max Verstappen on purpose.
We're not doing that. We are not doing that.
Hey, I'm just pointing it out that it happened.
This is not a Formula One podcast.
Look, there's drama happening. All right, it's drama. It's pandemonium. Speaking of pandemonium, we're gonna get out of here. So I've been Ilan. This is my info over there, and this has been Steve, the main squeeze ace king officer Jurek. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us in the chat. I hope if you enjoyed the Goldlewis breakdown, please let us know. We could do more of these. I've been having a lot of fun playing fighting games recently, so my knowledge of Guilty Gear is a little limited, but I've been having a ton of fun with the game, so I felt we could do something like this. So thanks, everybody. That's going to be it for us. We'll catch you all next week. Steve, say the thing.
The thing. Good night, Canada.